What is good, y'all? It's your G Game, man. It's your boy SmooveGotGame, back with another episode of the Pittsburgh Pirates Rebuild, baby. Thank you guys so much for showing the love and support to this series. Earlier, I have seen some of the videos going up recently over the course of last week, so thank you guys so much. I'm glad y'all are enjoying it. Give feedback, leave feedback down below on different directions you think the team can go, trades, free agency signings, different players you think can go up and down, how you think you guys are performing. Leave any and all feedback down below. I want to interact with you guys. And here today, we're going to be trying to get through at least the draft. We'll have to see if how much farther past that we kind of go, but the draft, see what these guys' overalls are going to be. So kind of getting into at least the beginning there, August. We'll see how close we get to either the end of the season or spring call-ups. Now here, right before we go ahead and get to the simulation, we do have a trade offer here from the Athletics where they want to give us Seth Brown for Jackson Wolf. Now, I mean, see potential starting pitcher. I maybe would have thought about it if they had given me like something a little bit better here. I mean, if they're actually interested in Jackson Wolf, who's had a great season. I can't do anything with Seth Brown, though. I mean, even if he were having a good season, he's 31. He's not going to be good for a long-term plan. Now, they do have some other options here in the outfield that have good ratings as potentials, like Colby Thomas here out in right field. Looks like a B potential prospect, 63 overall right now, 23 years old. Maybe if they're willing to move up off of him possibly for Jackson Wolf, we can maybe make something work here. So I'll go ahead and try to offer that trade to them to see if they're wanting to counter, but they want a little bit more than we can offer. I didn't really feel like giving up any other prospects for that. I didn't feel like it was worth it. So no trade happening there, but we will go ahead and go through and go on a 3-game losing streak before finally beating Milwaukee and then losing right again to them the next day. Start off the series against the White Sox where we do end up losing here as well, 4-3. So a pretty bad week, but what else is new for this struggling Pirates team this year? We're at 37-57 record coming into the All-Star games. And here today we got the Futures game, NL versus AL, and Paul Sneeze. I think that's how you say his name. I know he made his recent debut in real life, actually, for the Pirates. He just came up, and that's crazy that Jared's actually in real life better, I guess, apparently than him, because Jared was already at the Major League roster before Paul. And in this game, Paul is better. But he's making his Futures Day debut, as well as Tamar Johnson, our second baseman, actually getting the nod too as well. As we'll have two guys kind of participate in this one, but we're going to focus more so on Sneeze, as we're also thinking about moving him up to the AAA level, of course, and seeing what he can do there to see if he can make a possible path for himself to get at least a spring training invite, maybe even make the roster, the pitching rotation next season. Now, of course, I want him to go straight to the rotation, so if it's even a kind of a debate, he'll go down to at least AAA and start off next year, because I'm not going to put him in a long relief role. He's either going to be a starter at majors or starter at AAA, depending on how he finishes this year and how he does spring training next year. But here, I wanted to see a little bit more of his stuff and how he goes against the top talent and against the American League. And the first batter he faces, Wyatt Langford, flies this one deep out to left field and is gloved on the warning track. So making contact with bats already here early, not looking too good, and then losing kind of the ball there. Don't know if we can blame that one on the catcher or the pitch per se. But one thing I do like about Paul, bro, he's got good stamina. He's got good stuff, honestly. Like his stuff, I mean, it's not blazing fast, but 97 on the four-seamer is pretty good. He's got a cutter in there that he can mix in every once in a while. There it goes right there for 90. He's got good strikeout stuff. I think he'll be more of like a strikeout pitcher. Maybe not like a, guaranteed strikeout. He's still going to find his bats, but more strikeouts than the average, I would say. Like he does have stuff that will make you swing and miss. But also has his problems with hits. He has given up a lot of hits this season. At the AA level here, as we have a stolen base attempt for second. Throw goes in, and it will not be in time. So base hit and stolen base, all with one out. Jackson Holiday trying to get his way on base, but he swings through the slider. I told y'all. He's got the strikeout stuff. A good slider cutter mix, because obviously you have the cutter that's faster, breaks less, but in the same path as a slider. So being able to tell the difference between those two is going to be hard for batters to contend with. So being able to mix those two in well, still get that four-seamer in there, is one of the reasons why he's going to be dangerous. And he does have 4 pitches, though, too, as well. So it's not like you just have to worry about those 3. We get a nice chopper there on the ground for out number 1. Have to see how much leeway they let him go here. It's an all-star game, so I'd imagine probably at max 3 here. That's a jump throw out in the hole. Won't be in time, but pretty impressive. Very impressive, though, showing the speed to get out there a little bit. His defense is trying to make some plays for him, but of course, sometimes you just got to do it all yourself. Here's Joey La Perfido. up to back, quickly down 0-2 after he swings and misses through one, chops the slider on the hands right to third base. I thought that might have been an easy strikeout. And then we got Walker Jenkins here with a 1-2 count in himself, as he will swing through the four-seamer upstairs. 98 heat coming through. And I gotta say, I was very impressed with his performance. Like I said, he's got strikeout stuff, he got swing and miss stuff, the cutter off the slider. It's going to be a very dangerous combo for people to kind of contend with. And here, the NL does end up getting the win. Tamar Johnson ended up going 0 for 3 with the walk, so not very impressive hitting the ball here today. Didn't get, kind of pinch hit for anything like that. Did steal the base though off his walk, so at least showing a little bit of speed. And then we wanted to look at the pitch breakdown for our starter here. Of course, see what he was able to get into. 25 pitches as a whole, 76% on the strikeout rate. That changeup looking pretty good today too as well. 4 or 5 in the zone. You see the only times he gave up hits were kind of near the middle. One exactly the middle, but the other one kind of just like middle high. Probably got lucky on that one, but good stuff all around. The cutters, didn't throw too many of them here today. Kind of mostly stayed with the four-seamer. An even amount of sliders and changeups. Here's where you're off the plate with those, getting chases, swings and misses, outs. That's what we want to see. So I think if he can keep developing the break on those pitches, we'll see him at the majors sooner than later, especially the way this pitching staff is set up and how many runs we give up. But that'll be for, as the video goes on, it's time to simulate into the 2024 first year player draft, man. As we go ahead and load up our queue here with some of our top talent and players. Of course, we're going to go through them here as we have a lot of good talent on the back end, guys that we want to draft late. But of course, we got a lot of guys contending for that #1 overall pick, at least for us, like a #1 overall in our series. Checking to make sure I got everybody listed in order by our board, not the MLB board, but our board where we have them selected to go. Importance of guys that we want. So Shane Rasmussen, definitely want him if we can get him. If he is still there at our pick, I think we are at 8 or 9. He's #1 on our board out of everybody. Great power, or great contact and power versus lefties. He's still good at hitting against righties. Vision's going to be high. Discipline's going to be high. Defense is going to be there. We're not mad though if he does get taken. We got Herbert Bill, who's 4th on our board, which was 41st overall. He's got great offense. Andres Olivia also has great offense too as well. If we have to get a different first rounder, if we can't get Shane Scott, another outfitter, in case we can't get Herbert. He's got great defense that he'll come in with and pretty good hitting ratings. Jaquin Pena, he's got good hitting ratings as well. Not much power, but he'll come in with defense. Third base prospect Victor Gonzalez at 28. Maybe we can get him with that second first round pick. He's got good contact and power versus lefties. Robbie Wog also contending for that spot with David Bass. I mean, we're really looking for offense. We do hit the ball pretty well. I need to look a little bit more at defense. That's why we got guys like Josh Worth on here, guys that can come in and actually, I can trust a little bit more with their defensive capabilities. But we got our guys that we want, man. We want to go pick up at least one infielder in the corner, so either first or third, preferably first. We want to pick up at least 1 or 2 outfielders. We'll probably still pick up a relief pitcher. That's why I scouted them. None of them made my board because I feel like we can just pick them up here in late rounds anyway. But we will take our time with looking at those and kind of getting through this draft. This is our first year in this, so everybody has 10 seconds on the clock except for us. We have 4 minutes. So we're going to kind of just basically let everybody rush through their picks. The first 3, they do get that cinematic intro. At least I hope so still this year. Last year they did a little cinematic intro into what their players look like. Ooh, okay. This looks a little different. So #1 overall pick is Kurt Rosen of the Cleveland Guardians. #1 on the MLB board, 2 on our board as a starting pitcher. Not bad. Didn't scout him at all because we have plenty of starters. Pick #2. Please don't be Shane. Dang. Shane Rasmussen goes to the Reds at #2. Trying to get a Joey Votto replacement, I guess, and it just sucks when you get 100% scout like that. You for sure you want him because you feel like you wasted time scouting him for no reason. I really thought he'd be there though at 8. I thought, like, if anything, he'd at least get close to our pick, and then Andres goes right after him. I mean, he's 4th on the board, so he always goes like 1 spot ahead of potential. But I mean, hey, the MLB draft is different. You can't just look at a mock draft and get to know who might get taken where. You're going to have surprises like that because you never, like I said, we have our board and we have the MLB board. What do we value? What do other teams value? It looks like other teams valued first base very well this year. So we're going to have to go to some of our late round options. I mean, Mackenzie Keenan, Jeffrey Corzin. There was David Bass. Kind of just looking over which one we might want to take. Obviously, it's going to end up having to be in the second first round pick or the third possibly. But a three straight run on starting pitchers going across the board. As we're coming up slowly to our turn, the Angels will go ahead first. We got to figure out who we're going to take. Joaquin Pena is still here too as well. He's got good contact hitting. That could be good. Just 21st on our board. I want to try to get a little bit better on the potential. I mean, he's probably going to have B potential at 82 to 94. So we're on our pick, 4 minutes to go. And the top one on our board, Herbert Beal is still here, as well as Scott Vogt. We have pick 36. So, I mean, a long ways to wait before we're back on this clock again. But hella starting pitchers going here early. Everybody trying to beef up their starting rotation. I'm trying to get some more hitting. And Herbert Beal's got good hitting ratings. Great speed. The defense is maybe more like a left fielder, if anything. Scott Vogt would be a defensive specialist with okay hitting. His potential is way lower, though. 82 to 92 compared to 82 to 97. So a lot higher of a chance that we can get a potential with our first pick if we do go with Herbert over Jaquin or Scott. So here with about 3 minutes left to go. I like that the hitting ratings and power are in green. Vision is average, and he's got good speed. So you got speed, contact, and power with a little bit of vision. Go ahead and slide on through then. So Herbert Beal will be our pick at number 9 here, 4th on our overall board. So don't forget, I mean, we got him at a good value. But as you can see here, there's the draft is starting to unfold a little bit. Scott Vogt did end up going 15 to the Mariners. Just kind of looking through 22. The Baltimore Orioles took Victor Gonzalez, like one of the only third base prospects that I actually liked. Robbie Wog, 24 to the Braves. He's off the board. Jaquin Pena at 26. He's off the board. So we finally get over to our pick now, kind of after seeing some of our guys fly off, and it looks like our top guy here, David Bass, Josh Worth. Of course, I wanted to look relief pitching here too as well to see what's going on. Here's what I know is like closing pitchers actually, I guess, apparently go relatively early because there are almost none left. And most of the relief pitchers were starting to fly off too. So that's why I was like, maybe I should go look to see if anybody's good. And the only thing I saw here Worth was Anthony Bergen. I mean, at least on the potential side, we only got him 20% scouted, but at least 79 to 97 could be a good window for us. He's 5th overall on our board. So, I mean, I can't imagine him falling off that much, especially 28th on the MLB board. So we're taking a chance they're going reliever because of the guys that we have on our board still are not projected to go that quickly. You see they're still here. David West, Tim Gonzalez, Mackenzie Kennan, Josh Worth, they're all still here. We've already gone the outfield once, but Josh Worth is a kind of talent that you can't exactly pass up on. That's good contact, good vision, great defense with great speed. You got Tim Gonzalez a little bit later. David West is his other counterparts. Is who else we can get in right field. I'm not in love with any of their other profiles like I would be here for first base. And we've already missed all of the big first basemen that we wanted anyway. So whoever we get, we're kind of, settling with anyway. And I really like Jeff Corson's offense here. Great contact, good vision. Defense and power will be about average. He can play third base. And he gives me a solid chance at B potential as opposed to Mackenzie Kennan too as well. So right here, I'm just going to chat, get BPA, best player available. And to me, that's Josh Worth. Too much stuff that I didn't feel like missing out on. 70% scouted, so not 100%. But gives me a strong, most likely going to be B potential. Probably coming around the low 60s, high 50s. And he'll come in with good defense. Now we skip ahead to round 3, where we'll go ahead and take Jeff Corson. Finally getting our first baseman here. It says strong candidate to give me B on potential. Projected on the board at 123. We got him at 86, so way ahead of where he should have probably went. But in terms of our needs, that's exactly what we want to go do. And then here in round 4, we managed to take everything that I needed to. A couple outfielders, a first baseman, a relief pitcher. Let's go ahead and go get a third baseman, fill out the rest of the corner. Edgar Collado, although his potential is on the lower side, he had great hitting ability, great power. So I was really proud of what prospect he could kind of become. Maybe a good bench player, DH for us. Here in round number 5, we're going to go and get another outfielder, right fielder Juan Santana. I told you we were really focusing on those corners, and this is a non-ranked player. It ends up being 147 on the board. Great potential, good hitting stats, and as you guys can tell is the theme, I like when my prospects can hit. Defense, we'll figure out later. Hopefully, but we've won championships before with a team with that almost led the league in errors. So defense ain't gonna kill you that much. It's gonna kill you in some games, but it ain't gonna kill you that much. And then here, with this the last pick of the draft, round 6, I decided why not? Let's just go with another relief pitcher. You don't want to really go to the corners anymore. A lot of people, position players are off the board now. The kind of only thing left is relievers pretty much, and a couple position players here and there. So we're going to go with Rafael Delgado here. Just the best player available on the potential side, 64 to 85. And that wraps up our draft here as a whole. So 2 relievers, a first baseman, third baseman, 2 right fielders, and a center fielder. You guys let me know down below how you guys are feeling about that. Do you guys feel like I made the right moves? I am incredibly sad we didn't get Shane, bro. That was really my top target. If we had got him, I didn't care what else we did for the rest of the draft because I knew I had my first baseman teed up. But it is what it is. I mean, if we could have got him and Josh Worth, honestly, that would have been crazy to pick up those 2 talents. But it is what it is. We're just going to get into All-Star Weekend and start celebrating these festivities from the couch because you know we don't got any participants, at least in the Home Run Derby. We got Corey Seager, Vladdy G, Juan Soto, like a couple of big name guys as always, but nobody from the Pirates hitting enough home runs to be considered on that list. And then here in the All-Star Game, we just wanted to at least check out the roster, see if we had anybody make it. Pitching staff wise, looks like no starters up there. We didn't get the one reliever and closing pitcher. David Bednar did end up making it with his 26 of 30 attempts on his saves, 2.56 ERA, and 29 strikeouts in 31 innings. Was able to be good enough to get him in to the All-Star Game. And then we go over to defense, or not defense, but the bats, to see if we have any hitters as well over here. And Brian Hayes actually ends up making it, our third baseman, batting 269 this year. Did it well enough to go ahead and get into the All-Star Game. I'm super proud of him. At least he's coming off the bench at 11 home runs, 44 RBIs. I didn't think he'd be our All-Star because of the 269 average, but he has done more than enough to win us a couple of games. So I think we ended up losing the All-Star Game though as a conference. So NL lost to the AL, and this now starts the signing draft picks period. So from here on out, we'll have a couple of gameplay footages here in between, but our main focus is going to be signing these rookies, so that way we can get them on deals. And Herbert Bill, our number 1 pick, is the only one 100% scouted, ready to go. So that's kind of bad. We probably should have scouted maybe a little bit more well-rounded, but at least he's 100% scouted and 72% interest, so this should be an easy signing here. Let's see, he wants $4.3 million. I can't wait to see what his overall and potential end up turning out to be. But he wants $4.3 million. We have $12.6 million as our bonus allotment, 5.7. 5.7 is his position. So we got him at 9. So they're saying the 9th pick should make 5.7. He wants 4.3 though to be happy. I don't mind going in the middle of that, so I have enough money to spend on the other ones. We're already dropping down to $8 million already. So $4.6 million deal here. And not interested. At least the interest didn't go down, but that means we just have to try again next week. So if they don't like the offer, they don't have to sign you guys. So you can lose draft picks because you don't sign them in time. You get, I think it's 7 attempts to sign them. Yeah, you got 14 days. It's every 2 days you come back in here and reset all this stuff up. So you got 14 days to basically get everybody either in position to sign, get them fully scouted, or know what you want to do. So we're going to put Josh Worth, Jeff Corson, and Anthony Bergenson set up here to go ahead and finish off their profiles, get their percentages up to try to scout them. As we look here, Jarrett Jones is doing great at AA yet again, just like Paul Sneeze. But Paul doing slightly better at 1.8 ERA, 108 whip. Definitely want to go ahead and move my boy up to AAA and give him some time to go ahead and pitch up there. And of course, to bring down, we're going to bring down Braxton Ashcraft. He's done the worst out of all the AAA pitchers. And that leads us right into our very first gameplay of the day. Going over to the Philadelphia Phillies, the season is obviously all bad. 36-58. We haven't talked much about the record. We got on some different uniforms here today, though. Might not spice it up. Get you guys a look at some different colorways, some old school unis. I mean, we got to think of something to go and provide some level of excitement back to this team. As we're going to go ahead and actually focus in and lock in on Pete Crow Armstrong, player that we traded for at the end of last episode that I think could be the future centerpiece of the outfield. 16 runs, 1 homer, 9 RBIs here, and a 369 average this season. At the major league level, he's played most of the year on the bench with the Cubs. Traded to us recently. He's been on the bench for us. Today we have him in the starting lineup, though, against Aaron Nola and the Phillies. As we try to see if he's got the type of skills to be a everyday starter. He takes this one deep out into the outfield. It's going way back over to left, then will be gloved in. And one thing I do like, I can change it. I did find a menu where I can change it. I can change it back to sportscast mode, basically where we go to the I don't know if you want to call it a box score, but basically this, the game cast mode where we just watch the game from there. I do kind of like this though, like kind of going from at bat to bat, just getting like a little drop down to show me what happened in between So obviously you saw that we had an RBI here in the field, getting to see a little bit of what this arm strength might be like. Runners going all the way to third. We're going to throw it to home, though. Great little mini game here to make it interactive, and that's a throw on line. So he got a decent arm in the outfield, got good speed. And of course, here it looks like we end up getting the dub. Not much to see there from Crow, but I do think he can be a centerpiece for us. The average is really good. His on base is great, and he's got good speed for a center fielder. We're going to have to build up that whole outfield. I mean, a lot of our guys are old. You see Connor Joe player of the game here today, but he's 31. How much longer is he going to be player of the game in the outfield? I don't know. Armstrong did get his 10th RBI on that ground ball that we saw earlier. That fielder's choice. And Marco Gonzalez getting another dub. 3 earned, only 2 earned, 3 runs total in 6 innings. Finally getting a good pitching performance, and it led to a victory. Now here we're going back to Herbert Bill to see if we can go and get this contract finished up for our #1 overall pick in the series, upping this time the money to $5.01 million. He's able to go ahead and sign that one. Give him a little bit of a bonus, but I'm pretty sure we'll have enough money to go ahead and sign everybody. You know, typically near the back end, they only want like a couple, like $934K, $404K. Like they don't want too much on the back end. So just kind of refilling out our rest of our drafting and scouting prospects here. Is we got to finish up these profiles. I'd love to get 100% profile to know if I even want to try to sign them to deals. So you see Anthony, Jeffrey, and Josh Worth here. So we're going to go and try to finish off Jeffrey's profile. Worth probably has 2 more weeks, and then Anthony has a long way to go before we can know if we're going to sign any of those guys. And it will actually lead us into our first AAA start for Paul Sneeze. I had to go ahead and get him in. I mean, we just moved him up. I had to see what his first start would be like at the AAA level, because if he produces here, I mean, sub 2 ERA, the first half of the season at AA, probably the reason why they're actually in a good position to maybe make the AA postseason is because of him and Jared Jones, and him and just a little bit more. So here today, that 4-seam slider, changeup, cutter mix is going to mean to do it for us. Not, like I said, not blazing fast with anything but the 4-seamer. But great break, great control, and it should be a very powerful outing for him to go and improve his stuff and show me what he really got. Playing off against the, what was it again? The Memphis Redbirds? Is that who they are? Not too familiar with the minor league team names. Obviously, this is the Cardinals affiliation, so, you know, team that he could see at the pros a lot, being a division rival. So could even end up seeing some of these prospects at the major league level. Who knows? What I do know is he gets the first batter to chop one on the ground. Easy play over to first for the outs. And here you can see we are in CPU versus CPU mode. Another CPU versus CPU gameplay. Like I said, we will tailor these down as the series goes on. But we will still leave this for important games that, you know, either don't have anything to do with us, or if we just want to watch per se. Because I wanted to just see, you know, of course, I can hop on the sticks and I can play, and I have it as much player control as possible with the settings that I have put in here to still be ratings based. But I wanted to see completely what he can do untouched by me, no Diddy, and see what kind of outing and performance he would put on. And that's great speed going down the first base line, beating out somebody that's probably got below average speed, but we'll take it. Getting the final out of the first inning and getting him up 1, 2, 3. Watching the first 2 go across is Baker. Quick 1-1 count from Paul. He lines that one down the third base line into them seats. 1-2. Ooh. I don't know how you don't go chase that slider though with 2 strikes. I mean, it was kind of far outside. Maybe just a little bit closer. He gets the swing there. So we bring it back a little bit this time with the change up, swinging right through it, and that's an easy out number 2 or out number 1. Just kind of got a little ahead of myself because that's how quickly these outs start flying in as we pop this one up first, taking it easily for himself. And now it's 2 outs. Fly ball, right center field. Center fielder calls it off. And there it is. 2 strong innings already. Looked pretty good. We're going to go to the 3rd inning here. You can see the pitch count's pretty low too as well. Still only 24 pitches here through this point, so he's very efficient with his pitches. He's getting the easy outs there. So we got a nice liner to short. Great glove. Might see a little bit better defense here at the AAA than the AA level for himself as that one's popped up. That one's going, looks like towards the gap. Back in right center field. Gone. Solo shot home run there. and that is the Memphis Redbirds. Jacob Burkberger hits his third of the season, and that was a long fly ball out into the dugouts as these Memphis Cardinals ain't playing no game just like the St. Louis Cardinals. 1-1 ball game. And doing a pretty good job here so far through these outings. Paul facing Morales now, who is in his first at-bat here. Almost clean way through. Almost 9 for 9. His first ever outing is pretty impressive here as he gets the strikeout there on Morales. Great four-seamer on the edge of the corner. Already knowing how to paint the blacks as pinpoint control at such a young age. That we got plenty to look forward to here. So we got a drop third strike going down the first baseline. 2 back-to-back Ks. Despite the homer that we were able to give up, the game is still tied though. We got a little bit of offense down here in AAA. We'll see if they can get out of here with this first victory, as well as that was going deep back to the corner. It'll be gloved in. One thing I do love here is how low the pitch count is despite the strikeouts that we're seeing come through. Burleson going down looking, four-seamer at the ankle or at the knees. We see here 47, almost at 50 pitches here on the 2-2. Chopped on the ground over to third base. He'll make it through 4 innings cleanly before touching 50 pitches. This could be a deep outing. We keep them off balance like we have been. Paul might be able to give me 7, maybe 8 strong innings here. This is a liner in the outfield that'll get down for a base hit. Gomez is able to finally get on base here. Again, we haven't seen too many guys on base for him. I think it's only like their 3rd hit of the game off of Paul. So we'll look to see what he can do. Runners on base, we haven't seen too much of his. I guess this would be like pitching clutch scenarios here. Guys on base. Or maybe that might just be guys in scoring position. But seeing what he can do. If he can get a good double play ball here, that would be great. Chopped on the ground right to first base. He at least knocks it down. No throw goes over there, but he will go back to first. Flashy play with the behind the back, and honestly probably the quickest thing he could do, but just late. So now we actually do have runners in scoring position, and this is probably the most dangerous situation he's seen all day despite giving up a run already. The runners are at first and second, still no outs in this inning as Antico in the 7th spot looking to be clutch for his team. This is how call-ups are made. If you can get this out of the park, deep at the wall, and it's caught. Hit up against the wall, so he will hit the deck. We'll have to see where the throw comes in at. Says, okay, not enough speed to score. I don't know. With him falling like that, I would have had to go. I would have to test that arm. But thankfully, we only got runners at the corners because of it. Great catch there up against the wall. That's good defense. See, the team's really trying to help him out today. Got the 1-1 here to Burkberger. Trying to get another home run if possible. We're trying to throw that thing away from him to get him chasing. There goes the slider sweeping across the plate there. Now we're up to 63 pitches in this outing. Gets a chopper on the ground. Could this be a double play? Throw over to first. Pretty smart play there. I mean, maybe try to go home. See if we can get the tag to stop the runner from scoring is my outlook on that. But might not have enough time, so he goes with it for sure out at first. And we're still not out of this inning, so that's 2 earned runs given up here to Paul here as he gets the strikeout upstairs. Great work through 5 innings strong, 2 earned runs so far. Now we're looking at closer to probably around 6 innings of work here as we get another strikeout there on the outside. Then Curali 2-2 swings over the top of another changeup. Looking like here when it's getting late and things are getting tiring, that changeup is saving him. 1-2 to Burleson. Outside of the part of the plate, 3 straight strikeouts, 3 straight changeups, make it 4 straight total though. 3 hits as a squad, only 2 runs. They end up getting the dub 3-4 here. So I'd imagine with us scoring 3, maybe we didn't take the L at least with Paul, but not able to get him a dub in his first victory. Only ended up going 6 innings, which is pretty strong. Like I said, ended the game on 4 straight strikeouts. So we ended it on a hot streak here as he actually does end up getting the loss. As I mean, we had 5 hits or they had 5 hits as a team, managed to just score on 4 of them. We had 10 and it could only produce 3. So it's doing more and being more efficient with the hits that they were getting. But I gotta say, I'm very impressed with Paul. Like I said, he has strikeout stuff. Can be a very good strikeout pitcher. I think a 9 strikeout for 9 kind of guy. 9-8, maybe even hitting double digits. The way he performed here today, he'll go deep into ball games. Didn't give up too many hits. No walks, not really like walking counts or good batter counts here too often today. The slider was sweeping across. He's got great break on it. The changeup today had them confused. Remember, all 3 of those strikeouts in that 6th inning were off the change. So, way to mix up his speeds. Got a great fastball. Ended with 8 strikeouts, 3 hits, 2 earned runs given up total. Looking at some of our batters here, Sung Chae Ching only had 1 for 4. Frazier had 3 hits, including an RBI for his 26th of the season. Eric Lawyer ended up finishing out the game, 2 innings, gave up 2 earned runs of his own. But by that point, it was too late. We scored 2 in the 9th to try to come back. Now looking at Paul's pitching analysis here, 85 pitches today, 73% strike zone percentage. I love that, but 48 on the slider. Doesn't look like we're able to locate it all that well. You saw a couple times that we were trying to, like that last at bat where we did get the fly ball out or the ground ball out there. We threw 3 straight sliders and 2 of them missed badly out of the zone. Weren't even close enough to get a chase. So got to work on that. Got to get his pitches a little bit better, but I can't wait to see him grow and develop at AAA. We're going to stay here watching some of the young guys as Tamar Johnson playing the same day down at AA. So while that game was going on, he was down here getting cuts in, trying to see if maybe he can make that late season call up around September time to go to the AAA level. Now, although he's gotten better overall, some of his attributes have increased. He has still stayed and maintained kind of a 250-ish average, so around 240 to 260. Basically his whole time at AA, which is not going to be good enough to kind of get up to AAA unless you start showing me some better numbers or at least a little hot streak here in the next couple of weeks. And he gets it kicked off with a base hit into the outfield. Great chance to possibly score a run here. That throw will be a diving one. Pretty much on line, so we held the runner smartly there, but a nice little base hit. Ooh, that nose. My boy got into a boxing match, ain't he? That nose big. My boy got that Squidward nose. But that Squidward nose is about to get him paid in the league. Hopefully, as that ball dropped down in the outfield, it won't get him paid on the base pass, though, as he gets thrown out at second. Thought it was going to be caught. That was kind of a bad angle. I get it. But here he comes up with his second at bat. Runner's in scoring position, and he takes one off the elbow, hitting the deck, making sure he doesn't hit the dome piece. But it will be bases loaded now. Only 1 out. Ross with a great chance here to get some extra runs for the squad. And he just hits into a double play to end the inning. Team is already down 3-1. Johnson, a second baseman too as well. I told you we are good up the middle. Could be a potential trade bait. Could be a potential major league bench option. Who knows? We do have a lot of other spots that we want to fill. We do want to keep good depth at certain spots for injuries. So his path is kind of uncertain right now. It depends on what the guys up top are doing as well. And we have some heavy hitters in front of him that he's going to have to beat out if he wants a spot on that major league roster. But here over at first, trying to flash off a little bit of that speed as we know that ball's being caught, but almost made his way to third base in time. As these Patriots go ahead and walk away with a W here. Another L for the squad. Whether it's the majors, minors, whatever, it seems like we are used to just catching losses. But like I said, Tamar Johnson definitely has a path in front of him to get to the majors. It could end up being a long way. We just got to see what's in front of him, how good he is performing. Because, I mean, even if the guys in front of him are good, if he's outperforming them, then it becomes them on the trade block instead of him. So 1 for 3 on the day and a walk. Plays really good defense, too. No real errors here today. He had to take that hit by pitch off the elbow. And Braxton Ashcraft, we just dropped down only 4 2/3, still struggling at AA. But now we're going to go ahead and jump right back into our signings here. Jeffrey Corson, he actually finished up his scouting report here, 88-93 on his potential. And we ended up going in and signing his contract, so he is good to go. Bringing up Anthony Bergeson, Josh Worth, and Raphael. Worth at 90%. Is it worth another week? We already know at 90% he's 71-88. I'm just going to go ahead and sign him. That last 10%, not too important. And we still got other guys to go through with only 5 more chances to do this. So let's go ahead and get Juan Santana in the rotation here as we try to sign our last couple of guys. 60s, 31, and 65%. Got a little bit of ways to go, so we're going to have to lock in on those. So while those guys are locked in for the next about 6 to 8 days, we're going to come back out here and look at Jared Jones, who, like I said, in real life, pitching great. I did see you guys' comments where y'all, you wanted me to potentially maybe boost up his overall, so he was actually able to, get up on his own and start to be a good player. I don't know how quickly he'll evolve, because in this game, he actually isn't as good as Paul, surprisingly enough, on the rosters that I was able to pick up. Now, of course, we don't know what they're going to do when the season starts, but we are in our kind of own little world here, so got to see what he's got here. I want to go ahead and pitch with him. to see if he can make that leap up to AAA. Is it his time to follow behind Paul as he gets the change up down low? Now, the one thing that I will say on Jared, and I couldn't find it, maybe you guys can let me know down below in the comment section. He only has 3 pitches: the 4-seam, 2-seam, and the change. Now, me personally, I feel like if you're going to be a major league pitcher, especially in the starting rotation, you got to have a 4th pitch. If he does have a 4th pitch and I don't know about it, let me know. If he has a 4th and 5th pitch, let me know. We'll add that on. If I don't see it, you guys at least say something back, or he doesn't actually have a 4th pitch, we'll probably go hire a pitching coach in the offseason that'll teach him a 4th pitch. Because, once again, I don't think 3 pitches is going to get you very far on an actual start consistently at the major league level. Unless those things are just purely gas, like you're throwing 101 on the 4-seamer, the changeup mixes speeds and drops down to like 72, and then you got like a crazy slider or something that like really breaks. If you don't got that kind of mix, that 3 pitch ain't working for you. And you know who had that mix? Shout out to my Yankees, CC Sabathia. 4-seam slider, changeup, all that boy needed. And he was one of the GOATs. But I don't know if Jared Jones is going to reach that level. So we'll have to see if we can get another pitching coach in here that'll teach him a 4th pitch. And really all of our starters, making sure all the starting pitchers know at least 4 pitches for us and can work with 4. Now here, good slider upstairs, gets him froze. Thought it was the 4-seam heater above the zone, and then it just broke last second. So I love that one. He actually is a very good strikeout pitcher as well too. A ton of strikeouts in the series, very little walks. He does not walk anybody. You can see here in this game with the outs that we're getting here on the ground as we are in the 6th inning with a 2-0 lead. He's not really in too many counts to give up a walk. 72 pitches through 5 1/3 innings of work. You don't do that by giving up a whole bunch of walks. If he was giving up walks, it would be way worse. So he chops this one on the ground too as well, right over to second base. Easy play by Johnson. Look at the all-star teammates helping each other out. Try to get them AAA call-ups. Cabrera up next. Chops this one on the ground as well, right over to third base. 3 straight ground balls. And that'll be 6 strong innings of work. Just like Paul, he's able to go deep into ball games. We're here at pitch number 79. Still looking strong as he gets that 4-seamer in on the hands. Tapping out about 96 now. So he's starting to get a little bit tired. Was hitting 98 early in the game. Now he's just hitting that. Oh, there goes the 98 gas. Froze him with the heat. As he gets back-to-back strikeouts here in the 7th, and then swinging over the top of the slider. That is 3 straight. Is he going to end his day the same way Paul did? Nope, because they're going to bring him back out for the 8th. He's got a shutout going here. Getting another strikeout. That's 4 straight strikeouts. Get the K counter up. We're on 4 straight. Can we get 5? That one's fair. Chopped ball. Third baseman throw goes over, and they got him. So still getting the outs. It did break the strikeout streak, unfortunately, but we are still getting these outs here. This one is going to be a fly ball out to left that'll get down for a base hit. Does have a 4-0 lead, so you can kind of leave him in if you want to. See if he can get out of this and get the shutout. He's at 99 pitches, though, showing a triple-digit outing in the minors. This is exactly what I want to see. I want to see the stamina actually start to take back effect, because that's one thing I do want to do. I want to get a pitching coach that definitely will upgrade my starter stamina. I want these guys to be able to go deep into ball games. And seeing 77 stamina is just so heartbreaking and crushing as that ball gets down in the outfield grass. That's going to be an easy one up against the wall. The runner's going to score with ease. They're sending the batter around the third base where they will hold him up as the throw goes home. And just like that, it'll be a 4-1 ball game in which they're going to go ahead and pull the starter. So Jared Jones, very good outing, but they're going to go in relief here, bring in John O'Reilly to go ahead and close this game out. And of course, we got to simulate to the end since we were in player lock. So Jared Jones, everybody, let me know down below what you guys think. Is he a future major leaguer? I think so, and I think we have a very good rotation with him, Paul. I'm very excited where this rotation can go. We go sign like one more free agent to match up with Mitch Keller too, and then just kind of have somebody to kind of fill in that 5th spot. I feel great about where the starting rotation can go. Now we just need to fix the bullpen, get our bats to actually be consistent, which they have been pretty much this season. We've scored a considerable amount of runs. Now it's about putting it all together. So we look at the little pitch count here. Jones looking individually here at the pitches. 17 sliders, 65% of the strikeout or on the strike rate here. 3 of them for strikeouts. 2 of them did get hits though, and they were the ones that were kind of left over the zone. 4-seamer did a great job locating this thing all over, able to get some swings and misses, some takes, some strikeouts here too as well, and only going 1 for 14 on that to go ahead and help out the team get this victory today. Back for another round of getting these guys signed. See, we're 6 days left, especially until the deadline here. We got 100% scouted on our relief pitcher, Anthony Bergeron. who ends up looking like he is kind of going to be basically average. Looks like C potential, most likely kind of being like the 60s when we first get him. This is our second pick in the draft too, so I mean it's kind of looking like more or less like a flop. Getting him 100% scouted, looks like this was a bad idea. He ends up deciding to sign there. As we also go ahead here and get Juan Santana. He's 100% scouted now. The guy that was unranked and then jumped onto our board late. Looks like he'll have defensive capabilities. The hitting will basically all kind of be average, looks like, but very high potential. 80 to 95 on that, so probably going to be a B potential right field prospect. Very low overall, looks like, maybe around the 40s. But I still think that's contract worthy. You know, somebody that could potentially grow into something. He's only 18, so plenty of development needed down at single A, maybe double A. Edgar Collado, the third baseman we were able to pick up. Looks like he'll probably just be around C potential, 50s, 60s on his overall, but great hitting stats though. He's going to come in and be probably a really high average guy. He's got a really good arm, not good fielding, so probably like a lot of fielding errors, but he'll get the ball over there in time and accurately. So maybe more of like a second baseman possibly, you know, less risk of, well, nah. Yeah, I really have no DH. 430K though, not too bad of a contract. We'll go ahead and get him signed up. And then we have Rafael Del Guedo. He also wants his contract here, as we're not going to be able to actually get him back, which is surprising. You know, I just went ahead and offered him because why not? He was our 6th round pick. He decides that he doesn't want to come here. And this was the last actual day here. As you saw, we skipped forward a little bit today with only 2 days left. So he didn't want to come back. So we actually ended up not signing one of our picks. Actually, I told you guys that is possible. Now, before we go check out their overalls, let's go ahead and look at some of the contract renewals that we might have up here. Martin Perez, Bailey Falter, some guys that are decent in their age, you know, mid-20s, C potential. Quentin Priester, somebody I definitely want to offer a contract to. Luis Ortiz. I don't think he'll probably come back with that 7 ERA. I have no aspirations of bringing him back right now. A bunch of relievers that need to be brought back. If Aroldis Chapman wants to play, I got him. David Bednar, definitely getting the contract renewal, probably about 2-3 years on that. Bringing back both of our young catchers, Henry and Indy. Jason, I think, even could probably earn another 1-year deal. I mean, he's kind of older, but definitely could come back and fight for that backup catcher role. Roddy Tellez at 29. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him back. 14 home runs, 39 RBIs. I'm going to be opposed to it. Nick is definitely coming back. Juan Baez coming back. Jared Torrillo has done okay since being up here. I think we'll bring him back. O'Neal and Lee Oliver will both come back. Kel Williams only 25, so I don't see a problem with bringing him back. Connor Joe, despite having a really good season, he's 31. So I mean, if these numbers come up a little bit higher, I could probably justify maybe one more 1-year deal just to keep letting younger guys develop. At 257 is not terrible, but we have Edward out there who actually is playing at the majors and doing good. Michael A. Taylor, who I do actually plan on probably bringing back. I mean, he's in a little bit of a cold streak right now. A lot of his stuff is going down, and he's actually got the same average. Ooh. Actually, maybe I didn't know he had slipped this far. He started the series so strong, and now everything is going down, and he's looking way worse. Thank goodness we got Pete Crow Armstrong, though, to go ahead and take over that center field spot. So, I mean, we got some decisions to make, but no big contracts I feel like will be given out this offseason, at least to our guys. Now, for you to see that might be different, but let's go ahead and talk about these 3 Blues I see on my screen. 94 Herbert Beal, 89 Jeffrey Corson, and 88 Juan Santana. I love it. I'm seeing a lot of Blues. That's great. Herbert Beal, will start with you. Coming in with good contact, pretty good power. Vision's going to be on the lower end, and he definitely has to work on his fielding, so that'll be what his training is focused on. But a potential 66 overall at 18. Definitely going to be a menace. I think he's going to start at AA. Probably kill it there, honestly, his first season to be able to go to AAA after maybe the end of the year. But we'll start at AA. Anthony Bergarian. He ends up being 68 on his potential, so the only bad pick we really had here ends up going below his scouted. 56 overall. Yeah, I mean, he's basically going to be like a career minor leaguer. So we kind of flopped with the second pick. I'm not going to lie to you. Hit per 9 is pretty low. At least the strikeout per 9 is up. Home run per 9, walk per 9. I mean, you never know. Guys do play better than their potential in overalls all the time in this game, so he could potentially be something, but right now it looks like he's going to be an all-time minor leaguer. Josh Worth ends up being pretty good. 80 on his potential, 58 overall at 18 years old, so plenty of time to develop. We'll probably start him off at AA as well. Hitting seems to be good. Power not going to be a strong suit. Defense, he's got it as far as fielding, but we need that arm accuracy and strength to come up, so maybe working on that so he can be a true right fielder. Right now he's looking more like a left fielder, and of course we could just let him stay there, let him be a left fielder and just work on his hitting, get those up. Jeffrey Corson at first base. Comes in with great contact already against lefties, at least 71. That's going to be big on helping him develop because he's going to have that good average. Vision looks pretty good already. Now we just need to work on the fielding. Get him to be able to field the ball correctly, react correctly, and play a little bit of defense at first base, and he might become a problem for us. Definitely will be starting at AA though. 53 overall, 89 on that potential. Then we got Edgar Colorado, 72 on his potential, 61 overall, and already MLB level contact, MLB level vision, MLB level clutch. I mean, this guy is, he screams DH, well, if you want a contact hitter there at least, because he's already going to hit the ball very, very well, which can help him actually probably reach his potential very fast. He's going to have a good average. He's got good vision and contact. We can focus time and energy on his power. Maybe get that evened out. Maybe turn him into a legit DH because 35 fielding is very, very, very low. And I don't know if we're going to be able to really kind of boost that up to make him a starter outside of a DH role. Juan Santana here. He's got B potential, 43 overall, so one of the lowest coming in overall. So we'll see as everything here. I mean, the only thing we can talk about really is speed. Everything is boo-boo. But that's why you're 18 and you have plenty of time to develop. You might even hit single A. Yeah, for that guaranteed development. Because I don't even know if these stats, you might regress. Because I can't see you getting any hits with 28 cuts. I don't know how you got in out of the high school level. Well, I mean, he was in high school. We took him directly out of high school. My boy had 28 contact. And of course, Rafael Delgado, we don't know what he would have been, but I think they hit this free agent market when they don't sign. So looking at the rest of the teams in the division, I see 2 blues here for the Cubs, 2 yellows though as well, 2 greens. They love their 2s, but Roberto Vasquez, catching prospect out of Dominican Republic, 94 overall on his potential. Great catching prospect there for them, so we'll have to see that, as well as Diego Jaquiz, a potential starting pitcher at 95. We'll have some key guys to kind of look for as the Cubs are rebuilding and retooling in a very, very strong way. It looks like as we go to the Reds, they took my #1 pick, Shane Ramusin. He ends up being 93 potential, 71 overall. That's AAA worthy. Actually, if y'all seen my other series, that's low key enough to come straight to the majors. Now, of course, can see has the potential. We probably would start him at AA, but that's MLB level everything that you want for offense. 62 contact, 81 contact, 54, 67 power. There's guys on our roster right now that have worse than that, and good vision and good fielding. That would have been a perfect first round overall pick. Now, thankfully, that's their only blue. The Brewers blew it. They grabbed 1 blue, but they also had 4 people that they did not sign, including their first pick in the first round, Felipe Meta. Actually, make it 5 picks that they were not able to go ahead and sign. I don't know what they were doing. They were completely slacking, but they at least got a closer in there, 90 overall. Like I said, a lot of those guys kind of went early, so we weren't able to snag any. Cardinals probably had the worst drafts outside of actually, not signing their picks like the Brewers, as they only picked up 1 blue, 88 overall, so didn't touch 90s with any of them. But we go look at some other players that we're looking at. Victor Gonzalez, 94 potential, 64 overall, would have been a great third baseman to kind of pick up here. Fielding once again bad, but MLB level power against lefties at least. John Hobbs with the White Sox ends up looking like a pretty good starting pitcher here. Prospect, 76 on his stamina, 70 on his hit per nine, 62 on his strikeout per nine. Would have been a great third arm to add into the rotation if possible. Joaquin Pena, 89 overall potential, 56 overall coming straight in at first base. Another guy that we were looking at would have been pretty solid. MLB level contact and vision already. Defense above average compared to some of the other ones that got drafted. He's got a pretty good arm too as well. I mean, I know it doesn't say he can, but because playing a little bit third base. Scott Vogt, we knew the defense was going to come in above average. That's already MLB level. And the hitting stats aren't that bad, far behind. A couple years down at the minors, he could be okay with 83 potential. Mackenzie Kennan ends up being better with 88 potential. Looks like he's got MLB level contact, good vision, discipline. Defense needs work, plenty of it, but he'll be a strong player. Andres Olivia, 87 overall on his potential. MLB level contact and power. I mean, we did miss out on a lot, but we went down our path. Now, a lot of those guys I would have gladly took with the second pick, but we didn't have obviously the capability to do that. And now kind of finishing things out, looking at the rest of our team here. Paul Sneeze through 3 games at the minor league level or at the AAA level here, 17 innings, 5 runs, 3 of them homers, only 14 hits, 21 Ks, and the ERA is at a 2.65 with 2 of the 3 starts being quality. He's already looking good at AAA, 76 overall. Jared Jones, 75 overall now thanks to the Madness boost. Told you he'd barely be walking people. 119 innings, only 31 walks, 119 strikeouts. The whip is 1.2 and 12 quality starts out of 20. My man is balling down at AA. We'll have to see if he gets some time up at AAA here before the season ends. And then Tamar Johnson, seeing great development across the board. So I wanted to go ahead and pull somebody down that's been doing bad. As you see here, Shang Chi Chang doing terrible at the AAA level. So we're moving him down to AA. And we're going to move up Tamar Johnson, making his ascension to AAA. So go ahead and shout that down in the comment section if you think it was time, or we're doing this a little bit early. But I think he was ready to go. I like where the stats was at. I like the development we saw. He's almost at a 70. I say, why not? We're in the last 2 months of the season. Let my boy get some AAA work and see if he can develop even higher against higher level talent. So next episode out, we will basically be ending the season, man. We'll get through August, get to September call-ups, and we'll basically be trying to run this thing out. I mean, we have nothing we're really playing for. We're 42-66. We've seen most of our minor leaguers. We've seen who we've drafted. The next thing is just the offseason, get these contract extensions worked out, build up this team and roster, do a couple of good free agent signings, and get on to year 2. So if you guys are ready for year 2, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe for your boy, so I can show that you guys love this series, man, and keep showing that love and support. I really appreciate it. Road to 1K. Let's keep pushing. But it's me, your boy SGG, aka the King of Games, aka SmooveGotGame, aka GM Smooth. And I'll catch you guys in the next Pittsburgh Pirates video. I'm out. Later.